Yo, what is up, y'all? It's Cone back here again tonight with another episode of After the Buzzer, the show where I recap the NBA games from the night. Before I get into things, three things. One, this is my second time recording this video because the mic was not plugged in the first time, so don't ever say I don't work hard for you guys. Two, there's a fly buzzing around here, so if you see that, I'm sorry. Three, yes, I'm very sunburnt. Please ignore that. Let's talk about the basketball game. The Western Conference Finals, Game 5 happened tonight, and it was still kind of a blowout. There were some fun moments. The Dallas Mavericks made a pretty big comeback in the third quarter, led, of course, by Luka Doncic, who really struggled to start the game. I believe he was 2 for 14 at one point. At one point, he had double his field goals with his turnovers, 2 shots made, 4 turnovers. Not what you want to see. There were people calling him a fraud on the timeline and everything like that. And in the third quarter, he just flipped the switch, hit a couple really tough step back threes, high arcers to make this an 8-point game, really bringing it back from, I think, like 21 points at one point in that third quarter. And then heading into the fourth, the Warriors made a little bit of headway. The Mavs fought back, and it was kind of a back and forth here and there. But in the end, the Golden State Warriors just had too much firepower. Luka Doncic played the whole second half, and he looked absolutely gassed by the end. And in the end, the Golden State Warriors come out on top 120 to 110 in a gentleman's sweep of the Dallas Mavericks and are your 2022 Western Conference champions. After what was, I'm sure, a very long feeling hiatus for Warriors fans of a 2 whole-year gap between finals appearances. They've now made 6 finals in the last 8 years, which is absolutely ridiculous. The dynasty is continuing, and it was a weird way to get here. They had those 2 weird seasons where Steph, Clay, and Draymond all suffered injuries that first year, and none of them really played that much. They had like Damian Lee running the show, Jordan Poole as a rookie getting a lot of minutes, which was probably huge for his development to the great player that he is now. Last year, you had Steph Curry trying to carry the Warriors through a lack of depth and continued injuries. Once again, no Clay, who got hurt again. Unfortunately, Draymond missed a lot of time. James Wiseman, their second overall pick, who they got from that tanking season, wasn't able to play that much in his rookie year. Steph did his best, but ultimately they missed the playoffs, and coming into it this year, they killed it in the draft, got Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga, who have both had really great moments over the course of this playoff run. Of course, brought in more depth as well. Otto Porter Jr. has been great. Gary Payton II, hopefully he's able to come back for the finals, a lockdown defender, and just another great example of depth. Nemanja Bjelica, like I mentioned, those rookies, they already had like Juan Toscano Anderson, of course getting Klay Thompson back halfway through the year. This is a really deep team, and that's always been one of their strengths. But that, combined with the star power, the chemistry, the great offensive coordination of the coaching staff, this Warriors team is back on top of the West, continuing their dynasty in a way that not a lot of people probably would have seen it coming. A lot of people probably would have thought that after Kevin Durant left, and it seemed like they were starting to deteriorate a little bit, missing a lot of time due to injuries. Clay, 2 really devastating ones. Steph missing time. Draymond is a player that a lot of people probably thought by this point would be a lot worse than he is now. It was going to be tough. Andrew Wiggins wasn't really the player he is now, making an all-star selection this year. They had a lot of things go their way, and they really orchestrated this comeback to perfection. They did a phenomenal job of building this team. A lot of people doubted them, me included at times. I thought maybe they'd trade Kuminga or Moody, or just even the draft picks that they selected them with, for another star, 4 more pieces around them. But ultimately, they stuck with those guys. They gave them great minutes here and there. They've got their depth, they've got their star power, and they're back on top of the Western Conference. The Dallas Mavericks, I do want to give a shout out, had an incredible season, making Western Conference Finals in a year where a lot of people didn't think they would. I didn't. I had them losing to the Suns in the second round. And even coming into the season, I really didn't know how good they were going to be. They made that crazy trade, trading Porzingis to the Wizards at the deadline that I thought was insane and was a really bad move. Ended up working out pretty well, actually, getting them to the conference finals. Dinwiddie had a great game. Luka did all he could. He had an insane season. He's going to continue to be an all-NBA first teamer and MVP for years to come. Right now, they've just kind of got to add another piece around Luka. I think he needs a co-star. Jalen Brunson's great. They're going to probably throw him a bag, unless one of those rebuilding teams, like maybe a Pistons, is a team that's been rumored throws him one that the Mavs aren't willing to match. But I assume he's going to be back. Dinwiddie's going to be back. They've got their 3-point shooters. Tim Hardaway Jr. at some point will be back. Honestly, I kind of forgot he was on this roster until I saw him post-game dapping guys up. So he'll probably be back, or his contract will be flipped. But they've got to get a second star. I think they need a reliable second star, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a video I'm probably going to drop talking about the Mavericks and kind of their season and what's next for them in the next few days. But let's focus more on the Warriors. Of course, Western Conference Finals MVP was given out for the first time ever, the Irvin Magic Johnson Award, and it went to Steph Curry. It should have. Steph Curry was the best player over the course of this series. He had multiple 30-point games, 20-point games, a double-digit rebound game. In this one, even though his numbers weren't incredible, he played great defense, he hit shots when it mattered most, and he continued to do Steph Curry stuff, just drawing defenders off of his teammates, creating opportunities for others, and even when he wasn't getting assists, he was throwing a great pass that set up another pass to ultimately get a bucket. Steph was incredible. He was really, really good. Even if the numbers don't show it that much, when you watch him play, when you watch the way the Warriors orchestrate the offense, none of it happens without Steph Curry. The way that he plays, the gravity that he has, I know that's a whole meme and everything like that, but it really is true. Steph really does transform this team when he's healthy, when he's playing the way that Steph plays. He was phenomenal. It was cool to see him out there. Klay Thompson had a great game as well alongside Draymond Green. Kevon Looney was a monster. He's a guy that probably got a lot of sneaky consideration for the award. And it's funny because center is looked at as kind of the Warriors' weakest position, but it's not that weak. It's not, because Kevon Looney is really, really good. He's going to get a bag next time he's available for a contract. I think it might be this offseason. If it's not this one, it's probably next year. But Kevon Looney, whenever he's up for a contract, is going to get a bag because he has been so vital to this Warriors run, playing great defense, making great passes off of the block, or grabbing offensive boards and kicking back out for shots. He had so many times in this game where the Mavericks kind of had some momentum going and the Warriors missed another shot, and it was like, oh my God, the Mavs are going to take this ball, go back down the court. I think it was when they were down, the Mavs were only down, I think 8 or 10, and they were really gaining momentum, and I believe it was Steph missed a shot, and Kevon Looney grabs the offensive board, kicks it out to Andrew Wiggins, who misses a three. Kevon Looney grabs another board, kicks it out to Bjelica, who hits a three. And just his ability to grab rebounds and really prevent those super big momentum swings that the Mavericks continue to try and pull out, it was huge for them winning this game. And it's been huge for them winning this entire conference. Kevon Looney's been super, super valuable. And so shout out to him. He's done a phenomenal job being a guy that really flies under the radar a lot of the time. This year, he's stepping up in such a big way. And it's really cool to see for a guy that, like I said, a lot of people look at him as the weakest link, but he's been really phenomenal. So shout out to him. Of course, you've also got great play from Jordan Poole, who continues to be really good as a six-man. Andrew Wiggins is another guy who I think who probably did get a little bit of consideration for that conference finals MVP. He's been incredible. He really he had that great first half of the season that got him the All-Star starter nod. All-Star nod. Starter was questionable, but he was a good All-Star. He was an All-Star level player. But in the second half of the season, just kind of slowed down a little bit, and a lot of people were like, oh gosh, if Wiggins can't be Wiggins, like how far is this team going to go? Because he was a big part of their early success as a great 3-and-D wing. And tonight, he didn't have a lot of three, but he had a lot of defense, and he really drove to the basket well. He had multiple dunks. He had that dunk that you'll probably see all over your timeline where Frank Ntilikina just jumped out of the way, business decision type stuff, but also playing phenomenal defense on Luka Doncic. He ended up with 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. Phenomenal defense, like I said, playing 40 minutes. They had to keep him out there to keep Luka. He really pressured him, got physical with him, which I think was a big reason why Luka seemed so tired in the later stages of this game. Of course, he also did play like the entire second half, but Andrew Wiggins really made him work for every single bucket. And when Wiggins left the game, or when Wiggins just wasn't on him, it was so much easier for Luka to try and get things going. The Warriors did all around play great team defense, but in terms of point of attack and really just being that primary defender, Wiggins was incredible. He did such a good job. He's so valuable to this team, and it's amazing the way that he's really transformed his game, going from kind of this somewhat inefficient isolation scorer in Minnesota to coming to Golden State, completely remapping his game, deciding that just really buying into the role of being this great 3-and-D player / every now and again just buying into the offense and fitting in seamlessly. It's been really impressive the way that he's done that, and it's really been a kind of just, it shows how great this Warrior system is, how great the organization is, how cohesive everything is, that they brought in a bunch of different guys this year that really just all had to kind of figure out their roles, and they figured them out pretty seamlessly. The offense is so fun to watch. That's part of why I'm excited that this Warriors team is going to the finals, because I wasn't ready to be done watching them play offense. The way that they move, the way that they communicate, everything is just so fluid and seamless, and I loved watching the Warriors back when they were first getting started in like the 2014-15 season, 15-16. Even though they beat the Thunder, it was still fun to watch. But this is just a team that has been doing this for so long, and with the Kevin Durant situation with him coming to Golden State, it kind of just got like, oh, they're going to beat everyone, although like that Rockets team did get pretty close, but for the most part, it kind of just felt like they were going to blow people out and could kind of just force their way, through other teams. But now that they don't have him, it's a lot more team-oriented basketball. Hell, it's even more team-oriented than they were the first time that they were making the finals, because Steph Curry, he still is really good, but not quite as good as he was. Same with like Draymond and Clay. They're all still really good, but of course you have more depth, you have like better role players, and you just really have everyone buying into this system that really got Golden State to where they were the first time, and they're back in the finals. This is a crazy dynasty. The fact that they were able to take those 2 years off and come back this year, get fully healthy, and make it back to the finals is a testament to the skill and talent of this organization. It's a testament to the way that they team build, the way that they continue to fight to try and make these finals, the way that they continue to push, are willing to spend money, because there is a lot of big contracts on this roster. So shout out to the Warriors. It was a really impressive run. Now they're waiting to see who they face off against, whether it's Boston or Miami. Next game is game 6. Boston's got a chance to close it out. But either way, I'm really excited for the finals matchup. I'm definitely going to be making a video breaking down the NBA finals whenever that matchup is decided. So if you don't want to miss out on that, please make sure to subscribe and also leave a like on the video. If you made it here to the end, it would really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Once again, shout out to the Golden State Warriors. Shout out to Steph Curry. This is a really good basketball team. It wasn't one that I thought was going to make the finals. I thought they had a shot, but ultimately I did pick against them. So shout out to them for proving me wrong. I'm excited to see them play in the NBA finals, and we'll see if Steph can get that finals MVP, and if the dynasty continues going to picking up a 4th championship in like 8 years or whatever. Ridiculous. But for right now, I appreciate y'all watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy. I'll see y'all later. Real one, say it back.